There are 3 books which clearly map out the plan for world domination. The Bible, written by Hebrews, Morals and Dogma, written by Freemason Albert Pike, create an apocalypse that will exhaust and depopulate the masses through deadly designer viruses, global terror, economic disasters, and nuclear war, when the remaining survivors will gladly embrace the promises of a handsome, charismatic new leader who will unveil his plan of hope for eternal world peace.
После того, как одели, делайте резкий выдох.
The draft is coming, folks. Let me read to you here. I wrote the words down verbatim here. And this is from a document talking about manpower needs. The Army was short 20,000 recruits last month. They're now going to be short, they estimate, 25,000 this month. They're not meeting requirements. That's because warriors don't want to be woke. I'm being very serious. That's why. And they don't want to be thrown into a meat grinder in Ukraine. Do you know now with the frontline troops in Ukraine, I'm reading some casualty reports coming out, 80 to 90% casualties in these units. This is what your kids are going to be going to pretty soon. Here, let me give you the documentation here, okay? From the recent draft projection report for the U.S. military, they categorize this as casualties, replacements, and reconstitution. Replacements is the key. Clearly, there are already plans to put frontline existing veteran soldiers into Ukraine and fight. To me, there's no other way to interpret this. And then they went on to say in the document that we need to engage in a limited scope draft. Well, first of all, that's BS, because there'll be no such thing as a limited scope. There won't be any such thing. They'll take as many people as they need. When the Vietnam War started, they said, well, okay, if you're in college, you get to the next semester to go. It's okay. We'll even let you finish, maybe college deferment. And then, of course, you got a marriage deferment. And so then they started doing is they did away with college deferment. Then everybody got married. And then they did away with marriage deferment. You could have a family deferment. Then they did away with that, which is progressively because the manpower needs just got bigger, and by 1968, we had 500,000.
Hey guys, I'm gonna go ahead and hit y'all with another one. Every week we trying to come out with a video to awaken, to alert, not to disturb, not to put fear, but reality. It is reality. We are at a ending point, and we really got to get this together, guys. It's not looking good. Prophecy is almost at a full cup. This is it. Said by Michael Jackson. And this is what Prince said. Prince, he said this is 1999, party's over. Well, this is 2023. Party's really over. So let's go. Let's get into this, cause I can show you better than I can tell y'all, right? Oh yeah, one more thing, the draft. I'm not just gonna skip that. They are starting to pick or choose who's going. So shout out to the reserve. We all know the reserve going first, and then they're gonna start picking regular people off the street. We have a lot to discuss, guys. Stay with me and bear with me. We are in this together. This is some exciting time, also a scary time if you're not ready, if you're not into the Lord, if you out there doing your own thing, you're in the dark, you still out there doing evil, and you don't think time is approaching you or time is sneaking up on you, then you're wrong. You gotta evaluate things, evaluate who you are, and trying to be on the good side. If y'all think this is a joke, it's not a joke. It's not a joke, and it's not gonna be a joke when you face God and He asks you, because I know you're gonna act dumb. So He gonna ask you, did you know what was going on? And when you tell Him no, He's gonna bring the facts, because you got people out there that see things coming, and they gonna tell you, they warning you. So ain't no way you gonna sit in front of God and tell Him you ain't know what was going on, because you choose to not to follow. Because a lot of y'all, if I go down y'all timeline in y'all phone, I'm pretty sure y'all got booty shaking and club and a whole bunch of nonsense. When the sky cracks open, if you don't believe it or not, because a whole bunch of people don't believe it or not, a lot of y'all gonna be caught. Some of y'all, I don't know what you gonna be doing at that time. Some of y'all probably, I don't know, some of y'all gonna be on drugs, high as hell, drunk as hell, having sex out of wedding law. Yeah. It's gonna hit you hard. It's really gonna hit you hard, because the window of opportunity is getting close. It's gonna close, because there is a time where God gonna be like, okay, whoever was doing wrong, keep doing wrong. They gonna get more evil, and whoever was looking for me or looking for salvation, looking for help. Because if you look around, the earth is not. It's not fair, right? The rules are not fair. People are being killed, and you think it's normal. That's how it's supposed to go. No. The universe has laws. The universe has ways of demands, and you cannot break out of those codes. So what I'm saying is, it was a time, it's a period of time where we all been trial and tested, and that time period is over, right? Because God said the new covenant, He's gonna put it in us. Since we can't follow direction, we disobedient. The new covenant, when He comes back, He's gonna have to put laws inside of us, so we can't go wrong. Can't go wrong at all. Things definitely about to change. Man, listen, don't listen to me, right? Listen to what's going on. That's what I'm bringing y'all today. Forget me talking. I'm not holy, right? I'm not holy. Everybody know my background, those who know me. And one of my biggest sin was smoking. Yeah, you know, I ain't that bad. You know, I smoke a little Doja. I'm sorry, but you know, I gotta relate. We have to relate, right? Because I'm not just gonna sit there and judge and bring y'all, you know, the truth and not tell y'all about myself. Yeah, I used to have issue with marijuana, and also sex. Those are my two, you know. Those are definitely my two. The smoking, weed, I can not only control, but I stop, right? But when it comes to sex, oh man, it's something about a woman that God create, and you know, I don't know how to explain it. I just know it's a good thing. It feels good, and now that I'm older, I focus on work. I work every day, right? But once in a while, if I get it, I'm not gonna deny it. Yeah. Y'all finally found out what's what. Yeah, fornication. That's my deal. Um, but we ain't gonna be stuck on that. Let's go back to what we were discussing before, and yeah, we were discussing the end of time. Time to get your stuff right. Time to get your shit right. So without further any delay, let's continue because I'm talking way too much at this point. Let's go.
To the details on Israel declaring war against Hamas after it launched a surprise attack on Israel. Flames lit up the night sky in Gaza after Israel launched retaliatory attacks. The White House immediately condemned the strikes, lending support to Israel. Reporter Rob Kirkpatrick has the details.
A surprise attack Saturday by Hamas left dozens dead in Israel. Gaza militants launched thousands of rockets, and shortly after daybreak, Israel responded.
Citizens of Israel, we are at war.
The Israeli Defense Forces said its troops are fighting in at least a half dozen locations.
Oh yeah, one more thing. God said, no man knows the hour when he comes, right? But he did say there's gonna be signs in heavens and stuff that you can look up to know when he's coming. And you know, one of those is 3 war before he comes, right? Put it in your mind like that. It's gonna be World War I, World War II, and World War III. Those are the 3 woes that's in the Revelation. Everybody who reads Revelation knows the 3 woes. The angel was flying and saying, woe, 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 right? It's 3 woe. So those are the signs that, you know, you can kind of predict that's there. It's more to it, but those are one of them. So we know we're at the end.
Saturday morning, thousands waking up to sirens and explosions. More than 500 Israelis are dead, at least 2,000 injured in the complex Hamas military operation that took the nation by surprise by air, land and sea. Israeli officials reporting that at least 30 policemen were killed in the fighting with Hamas-affiliated gunmen. Overnight, Israel's answer to Hamas terror illuminates the night sky. Airstrikes rain down on the Gaza Strip. Another airstrike flattening this Gaza high-rise. Israel says it's targeting Hamas command locations. The Palestinian Health Ministry says more than 300 Palestinians have been killed, nearly 2,000 others injured. But these scenes are only a glimpse of what may come as Israel prepares its fuller response. Hamas video shows armed Palestinian militants crossing into Israel on foot and by motorbike. Near the border, militants running on foot with hostages. Armed fighters firing shots into Israeli camps. Bodies lining the streets, some shot in their cars. Above, a barrage of rockets from Gaza, the sky streaked with smoke. The IDF says more than 2,000 Hamas rockets were fired towards Israel. Plumes of black smoke coming from Israeli neighborhoods, cars on fire after a rocket struck this parking lot. A hospital suffering a direct hit, emergency exits crushed, water spraying from pipes.
The scale of the war that's already taken place is something that we haven't seen before.
Volunteer EMS workers saying they treated 1,000 people yesterday alone.
One of the things that we're facing now, even after just one day, due to the sheer scale of the operation, is a shortage of medical supplies already. We've already emptied out our entire logistics headquarters.
At least 50 Israeli hostages have been freed by security forces overnight, but officials believe dozens of Israelis, soldiers and civilians, are being held hostage in Gaza. Yoni Asher, a husband and father of 2, says his wife and children, who he says are seen here in this video, were kidnapped.
If you sleeping right now, get your ass up. Pay attention. the best thing I could say is really, man, change your ways. You know what I mean? Certain things you were doing, just stop them. You know, I ain't say go completely holy, but try, because it's coming. And also, I want to bring in a little secret. I mean, God has a way of rocking you to sleep, right? There is a reason why God gave these other nations 1,000 years, maybe 1,500, right, to reign. It been so long that these people forgot that God exists. That's the trickery part.
An unprecedented Palestinian attack on Israel. Hamas says it fired as many as 5,000 short and long-range rockets from Gaza into the Israeli territory. Shortly afterwards, the Qassam Brigades, the movement's military wing, launched a ground assault with fighters breaching the border fence into Israel, some using paragliders. Hamas says the offensive is in response to the desecration of Al-Aqsa Mosque and the crimes of the Israeli occupation.
Let me correct myself. It's been more than 1,000 years, but it's been by section. The 1,000 years are for the Europeans, but before that, it was another 1,000 years where the other nations, like Persians, the Persians, I believe they're I don't want to get this wrong. They are the Iranians. Yeah, they are the Iranians. They had rule too before the Europeans had rule. So we going by section here, but it been so long that these people done forgot that God exists, because God let them do anything that they wanted and still do. And they really forgot about God, and that's a sad part. So God has a way to rocking you to sleep, and the thing is, time is up, time is running out, and it's basically out. It's basically, that's it. So there is a new change that's about to come, and it's certain people that will not be allowed into the new universe. They just not gonna make it. And that's pretty much it.
There are 3 books which clearly map out the plan for world domination. The Bible, written by Hebrews, Morals and Dogma, written by Freemason Albert Pike, create an apocalypse that will exhaust and depopulate the masses through deadly designer viruses, global terror, economic disasters, and nuclear war, when the remaining survivors will gladly embrace the promises of a handsome, charismatic new leader who will unveil his plan of hope for eternal world peace.